I'd like to talk about sliders for a minute. It's very common for websites to have a slider on the home page, kind of introducing you to the site, introducing you to what type of site it is, giving you essentially a visual explanation and story of what the site is all about. So more often than not, you'll see this. So let's talk about how to create one. If there's a slider on your site, it will already exist and you would just want to edit it. But why don't we create a new slider? So I clicked new slider, and you can see we have different options. We can do post-based sliders, Instagram. This is WooCommerce. If you have a store, Twitter stream, there's a lot of different options. We're going to keep it at default here. We're going to call this test slider, and then the alias will just be a shorter version of it. You can see it gave us a little shortcode right here. So let's look at some of the options. We have standard slider, which is basic slider. We have hero scene, which is mainly like an image with text over it. And then we have carousel. So let's keep it at standard slider for now. We have auto, which is just the image dimensions. It will just automatically choose the width of the image. This will force it to be from edge to edge. So you definitely want a large photo for that, and especially you want that when it's full screen. So that would mean the entire visual real estate of your home page before you start scrolling will be the slider. So you don't really need to worry about the rest of these options. They're usually already set up for you. So we're going to leave it at auto for now. So let's save our settings by clicking this. I'll briefly, well, let me go back. Once you save, it tries to be efficient, takes you in to edit the slide. So I'll briefly go over some of these settings here. We have different options. We have shuffle mode, stop on hover, stop the slide after a certain amount of time. You can loop a single slide. So we also have like this is the slide duration, so this is in milliseconds, so this would be 9 seconds. It's a little long. Why don't we change that to 5 seconds? So then we have our transitions that we can choose from. There's quite a few of them. We're going to leave it on fade. I think that fade's still the best way to go. Some people slide. It just kind of depends on what you like. The rest of this stuff is like you don't really need to worry about it. So progress bar, on or off, just adds a little bar at the top. Again, these are all just like what you want, like personal things. You can have an alternative slide. It has different things. Next slide on focus, blur. These are like the different appearance things. So like we can give it background color, where the slider lives. We can give it shadow, we give it an overlay. The spinner is essentially the what spins when it's loading. I like that one, I think. Mobile position, you don't need to really worry about these. Navigation, we have different types of navigation: arrows, bullets, tabs, and thumbs, touch, miscellaneous. You can go through these if you want. You can look at some of these other things. It has Google Fonts already in it, but as you can see, it doesn't matter because it's already in it. So I mean, you can mess with those settings if you'd like to see what each one of them does, but we'll move along to the slides themselves. So we'll create a slide. You can see right here it says source, and right now it's set to transparent. You can see that the checkerboard there. What we will do is we will change it to, you can see we have solid color, external URL, stuff like this, YouTube video, that kind of thing. We're going to change it to background image. So we're going to change the image. We're going to add a new image. Let's see here. I have this photo that I really like. So let's, and by the way, just so you know what I'm doing on the other screen, I have a folder open with different images in it, and I can just grab the images and just drag them in, and they upload. So that's one easy way to do it. The other way would be to go to upload and click that and try to find them on your desktop. So we're going to click this one here. Again, remember I was talking about, you know, the title, put it in the alt. It's always a good thing to do. So we're going to insert the image. You can see our beautiful, beautiful beach scene here. And if we scroll down, there it is, full size. So what we can do, and again, more than likely these will be set up for you, and you just need to edit them. So let's add a layer. We don't have any layers. We want to do, you know, say something about this. Have a little call to action if we need to. So we can add some text, and we'll call this. We'll just say beautiful beaches. That seems like it makes sense for this slide. Once we have that, we can drag it around. You know, there's a little trick here where you can center it horizontally, and then you can also center it vertically with a click of a button. But we want it kind of up, so somewhere around there, and we'll center it vertically, and then we can add different styles. So like, you can see the different styles that we can add, and it'll give us a little preview. So it has all these different styles. You don't have to use the styles, you can just change the font. So why isn't this working? So for example, a Google font would be Open Sans. Start typing Open Sans. Oops. Open Sans, there it is. It's opening, it's loading the font for us. We can change the text size of this, so let's change it to 80 pixels, why not? That sounds like fun. And the line height, which is also called leading, we will change that to 80 pixels as well. So you can see here, we have our beautiful beaches headline, and it looks great. And we can change the color of it. We can change the weight of it. And we can have it do all kinds of different things. We can have it, you know, fade in, fade out. We can have it, let's see, rotate in from 0. I don't even know what that means. There. I usually don't do a whole lot of these things. I find them to be a little slightly lame, but when done right, they are really good. Like that was nice. That was kind of nice. Let's leave that one. So it's up to you. It's just pretty much a matter of personal opinion, preference, that kind of thing. So, and we can control, you know, the duration of this animation, and we can change like the easing. It's just you can play around with these things if you really want to. Why don't we go ahead and add a button for our call to action that we're creating here. You can see the different styles of the button. So we have our background color, and we can choose, we could type in, you know, any kind of hexadecimal code. We can just choose it with the color picker. This is the opacity. You can see that this red here is actually a little bit more bright than what you're seeing over here. So if we change this to 1, that will reflect over here. Change the color of the text. Add a border if we want to. We can change the font family. Right now it's Roboto. But we can just start typing, and Google will like say we know we want lobster. I know I want lobster right now, so we're going to choose lobster. and we can choose the hover state. So the background is now going to change to that, and why don't we do it like this? So let's get this color, copy that, and then we'll go to the hover state and we'll change it to go to white, but then the text color will change to that color that we have set up. So you can see when we hover over it, it now changes. So then we can change what's on the actual button itself, and we'll say book now because clearly we're creating a resort website. So once you've created, decided on all of these different options, don't click it first, which button you want. You want to create the button, and then we can say, okay, I want that one. And so there's our little book now button, and we can bring it out underneath, and we can go back to, where is it, style of the button itself. You can see we have the text size of the button, things like that. Let's make it centered vertically, and just for fun, why don't we put a little animation on it. Let's see what else we got. Let's see what this one does. There you go. Very cool. So, like I said, if you really want to play with these, you can. I usually don't, but that's just me. So let's try fade in a little bit calmer animation. We can make this a little bit longer. So once we're done, I love this. This is exactly what I wanted. We can go ahead and click the save slide. So the other thing I'll just mention too, that once you have a slide created and you have all of these things, and you essentially say, okay, I want this to be like the general layout. So I want my next slide to have a different title, a different button, but I want it similar. So we'll go ahead and duplicate it. One last thing right before we go. So for example, book now. What we want to do, if we want to make that a link, we click actions right here, click this little plus sign, and it says on click. We just check it to a simple link, and then we can put in the link right there. And then we click again, save slide. So we'll just call this, we'll say this takes us to the contact page, so they can, contact us about booking at our beautiful resort here. So when you hover over it, you can see we have duplicate. We can make a template out of this. We can delete it. So why don't we duplicate it, and we'll see that it duplicated it for us. Let's go to that slide by clicking on it, and then we are going to, once it's done loading, click change image, and let's pick this image, the other one we had, and insert that. Now you can see it's right there. Let's go down and let's change this text here. So you see this little pencil, click that, beautiful beaches. Here, let's just say hurry and book your trip today. So the other little trick is that you see how it's not breaking. The way we can fix that is just with a little piece of code. I know it's a little tedious, but you add a little BR there, it will give you a little break. So just remember BR. So open bracket, BR, close bracket, and that'll give us a little break there. We click update. So bring it up a little bit, and we'll center it, and we will save it. So that's the overview of the slider revolution. In the next video, we'll show you how to put this on a page, as well as talk more in depth about Visual Composer.